What's up? I am Platinum Mike, and in this video we'll be going over platinuming Resident Evil Remastered. After more than 25 years, I'm coming back to do everything the game has to offer. Resident Evil has 45 trophies. I broke the trophies down into categories: Chris's trophies, Jill's trophies, combat boss trophies, difficulty trophies, run requirement trophies, and completionist trophies. I don't think this is a very hard platinum. It is definitely a bit skill and memory based. I'd give it maybe a 5 out of 10. It took me about 45 hours to get the platinum. Due to the nature of the trophies, there is no way that I cannot spoil the story of this 25-year-old game. But for those who have never played the game, start off playing on with whichever character and finish the game however way you want. I am going to recommend to play it on normal though. Then come back to the video and let's talk the ideal way to get this platinum. If you left, welcome back. No matter what, you will need to play this game at least 4 times. Twice with Chris and twice with Jill. Just make sure you use the once again option when starting a new game to make sure that the additional runs count. Also, save the game often unless you are going for a no save run. Before we start, I want to tell you about the Every Nook and Cranny trophy. This trophy requires you to visit all of the places on the map and pick up items, documents, files, and keys. I got this out of the way during my first playthrough. The map will show a red color in a room that has something in it and will turn white if there are no items of interest to make it easy so you know which rooms are done. Check the map constantly as a couple of the areas will respawn items after certain checkpoints in the story. For the first playthrough, you can start off with either character, but for the guide's sake, let's start off with Chris. Go through the story. When you meet Yawn the snake in the attic for the first time, let him bite and poison Chris. After the fight, you'll play as Rebecca and need to fetch the serum for the Bravo Rebecca trophy. You'll also need to save Rebecca. When the hunters, the ones that look like angry Battletoads, come out and you use the emblem key, you'll hear a scream. Head to the study located on the 2nd floor east wing. You are timed and it's about 4 minutes from when you use the emblem key. Kill the hunter and you'll unlock one of Chris's optional story trophies. That was nice of you trophy. The next optional story trophy for Chris is the Sorry I Made You Wait trophy. For this one, you'll need to save Jill from confinement. This is towards the end of the game. To do this, you'll need to collect the 3 ammo discs. When you have all of the discs, use them on the terminals in the laboratory to release the locks where Jill is being held. If you successfully saved Rebecca and Jill, you'll get the good ending trophy. The nightmare ends. If you didn't save anyone, you'll get the bad ending, but you will get the bad ending trophy, every man for himself. Jill's story run trophies are a lot similar to Chris's. You'll have 5 unmissable Jill only story trophies. Jill also has some optional missable trophies like What a Great Guy, where Barry saves Jill from the infamous Jill sandwich meme. The Trust Him trophy gives you a chance to give Barry his gun back during the Lisa Trevor encounter. Doing so will save Barry from Lisa Trevor unlocking the trophy. Sorry About the Wait trophy is exactly like Chris's, so collecting the ammo discs and releasing Chris is a must for this missable trophy. After finishing the game and saving Chris and Barry using Jill, I'm a Member of Stars will pop. This will also give you the good ending for Jill, and We're in It Together will pop for finishing the game with Jill and Chris. For the next playthrough for Jill, you'll need to finish without saving anyone for the Every Woman for Herself trophy. If you saved one character and another died, you may have to do another playthrough, but you have a lot more playthroughs to think about, so don't worry about it if it does happen. There are a few boss trophies that will pop on either character. Surviving the Yawn character in the attic and making him leave instead of just grabbing the mask and running, which you may want to do in later runs, but I'll go over that a bit later. Not waiting to exhale will pop when Yawn leaves. Deep 6 is unmissable, so don't worry. Spider Sense pops when you defeat Black Tiger. You really have to not to want to defeat him to miss this trophy. They might save some time later, so keep it in mind. This is probably the most important section. By now you have done 2 playthroughs, one with Chris and one with Jill. Like I mentioned before, there are 2 additional modes that aren't unlocked until you finish the game on normal. Real Survivor mode and Invisible Enemy mode. Invisible Enemy mode unlocks after you finish Real Survivor mode. You will also need to speed run the game in under 3 hours. If you can do that on your first try, both racing and pacing for finish the game in under 5 hours, and don't stop running for finish the game under 3 hours will pop. When going for the speed runs, think about not saving anyone and making multiple saves. You'll also need to finish the game using only your knife for the CQC for the win trophy. And ink is for Squid's trophy. Thankfully for all of these trophies, they can be done on easy mode. You can try to combine them to save time, but that will be up to your skill level. The one trophy you may need to keep a mental checklist of is Starsenal. You'll need to obtain all the weapons in the game throughout all your playthroughs. The 13 weapons you need are Combat Knife, which Chris starts out with, Survival Knife, which Jill starts out with, Handgun, which both will actually get at some point. So those 3 are just pretty much unmissable. The next 10, you can decide whether or not you want it. The Shotgun by the Jill Sandwich Room. Both can get it. Chris will need to swap out the broken one for it, but Jill can just go ahead and use her luck put to get out of that room after she gets the shotgun. The Assault Shotgun is Richard's. If you save him at any point, you'll get the Assault Shotgun. After he disappears from the game, you'll be able to get it. But always try to save him. He's trying, man. He's trying. The Grenade Launcher, you'll find on a dead STARS member, Forrest. On the second floor, he'll be holding this. Don't miss it on Jill's playthrough. You will need to load grenade rounds, flame rounds, and acid rounds to get credit towards the trophy. So just load them, shoot somebody real quick, and load some other ones. The 357 Magnum, which is in the graveyard, either character can get. You will need to use the Windstone in the graveyard and solve the puzzle to get this. The self-defense gun is in both playthroughs. In Dormitory 001, there is a one-shot handgun. It's really useless and a waste of space, but grab it, shoot somebody with it, and then discard it somewhere, or put it in your box. Flamethrower is in the caves. Only Chris can use this one. When you get this, use it on stuff, because you're not going to be able to keep it in the long run. Barry's 44 Magnum, you'll get it before the laboratory in Jill's playthrough. Before facing Lisa Trevor, you'll choose to either return the handgun to Barry or keep it. In one of your playthroughs, where you're not trying to save everybody, keep it and don't give it back to Barry. But if you're trying to save people, give it back to Barry. That way you can get your I'm a Member of STARS trophy. The rocket launcher is available in the laboratory section. Both characters can get the rocket launcher. If you saved Rebecca or Barry, there will be a second part to the Tyrant fight on the helipad. If you damage Tyrant enough, Brad will drop this weapon. If not, he will drop it in the last 30 seconds of the fight, so don't give up hope if there is some reason you didn't bring enough ammo. Samurai Edge is a reward weapon for finishing the game under 5 hours on normal or above. It is in your item box when you start your next game via once again, just like the Infinite Rocket Launcher is a reward that you get for finishing the game in under 3 hours. Then, it's all about cleaning up. I think the only trophy that may not happen naturally is breaking out the marshmallows. Just drop 2 zombies in the same spot, pour some kerosene, and light them up and it'll pop. Some random tips I'd give myself if I went back in time before I platinum this game. Use Jill on the real survivor mode run for the extra item space, since item boxes aren't linked. Also use Jill on the invisible enemy mode because fighting an invisible Plant 42 with knives was not fun when I was using Chris. And maybe don't do the knife kills only and the invisible enemy trophy run at the same time, but I did it so it's not impossible. But still, it was just a pain in the Ink is for Squids trophy is definitely done on easy difficulty, and know that there are still places that will kill you, like the boulder or Monster Neptune in the shark tank. Yeah, I remember that shark. I hate that damn shark. Don't mix your speedruns with anything to do with saving anyone, freeing Jill and Chris for confinement, with the exception of the 5-hour run. 3 hours is a little too tight to do all that, and miss it by just like 20-30 minutes. Maybe even save the 3-hour run for last. As nice as an infinite rocket launcher would help, by the time you get it, you can't use it to make future runs easier. You're practically done by that time. So don't really count too much on the infinite weapons. After you complete the 3-hour run trophy, the message is just what I remember on all the old school games. And it's just something I miss from a lot of the new games. It just seems like they cared more back then. I hope this helps. I'll be doing a lot more Resident Evil guides and walkthroughs for the other games. Comment down below if you have any questions or you have any kind of recommendations on what games you'd like to see me make a roadmap or walkthrough for. I have an extensive backlog and your recommendations definitely bump them up on my list. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you'd like to see more roadmaps, walkthroughs, and trophy hunting videos. Turn on the bell notification so you know when the next video drops. This is Platinum Mike. I'll see you on the leaderboards. Peace.